Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
It's interesting as well, like the wording you're using, which is totally correct about being pretty and pretty on paper, and then maybe having a dark cloud over it, is something that I guess people look at differently now. Is the battle of the billionaires with Donald Trump and Vince McMahon, and we're not going to get into the Donald Trump of 2017 because that's not really what we're here to talk about. But in terms of Donald Trump coming in as a celebrity and doing WrestleMania in Detroit, what was that experience like for you, and how do you think he compared to other celebrities who've come in to work with WWE?
Well, it was a special WrestleMania 23 was the year that Lawler and I were both inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in a class headlined by Dusty Rhodes. Gosh, Nick Bockwinkel was in that class, the Samoans, Mr. Fuji, I think the Sheik. It was a hell of a class when you look back at it.
Mm-hmm.
I am the brown shoes at that formal wedding, so I'm just happy to be tagging along with those guys. But it was a big weekend, another big weekend, another WrestleMania, hotel rooms, this issue, that issue. Somebody needs a hairstylist. Somebody needs their extensions are not connecting. There's all kinds of stuff. Personal issues, arguments. You got to be the moderator for certain things. Just what it was. I wouldn't change a minute of it, but it was sure as hell a full-time gig, man. So then you have my Hall of Fame induction, night before WrestleMania with Austin inducting me. I was really ready for WrestleMania Sunday so that was my sanctuary. I could escape everything else, all issues, all other ancillary things were cast aside, disconnected when I walked out that curtain and walked to the ring. I was in a whole different world, a whole new place, and I love that place. I still do. So I was happy for that. And look, Trump was, as to my experiences, and I was there for every minute of it, I thought he was as accommodating as any celebrity that we ever utilized. He did things that an untrained guy who probably isn't even a very good athlete would be very reluctant to do, especially on live television.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he took a stunner, no rehearsal. And now it's easy for those critics and wise asses to say, yeah, but man, it was an ugly-ass stunner. He sure was. But he took it. North of 50 years old. He might have been north of 60 then. I don't know. But, he wasn't no kid. He took Vince down with a clothesline on the outside of the ring. Whole different environment. So if you're a young guy and you're saying, well, let's look at this, that's no big deal. It's an easy bump. I can do that. Well, but you're not him. You're not there, and you're not his age. So I always admired his willingness to go for stuff, and his verbiage. Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon's dialogue to Trump sounds like a little bit like Trump does today as a president of the United States. So it's really interesting how that whole metamorphosis come about, and the influence that Trump's WWE tenure has had on his personality, and I think on the presidency. But that's another topic for another day. But he was really very outgoing. He told me, hey, I heard your work, and I really liked. He heard me do his segment, one of the segments, and I put him over. That's what I do. He's the baby face. Vince is the heel. So all we did was embellish what they were and add a little color to it, and he loved it. So he was good. I know that this will mean nothing to those that listen to this that are follow American politics or American citizens or whatever. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind on anything. This is not about politics. You asked me about Donald Trump being a celebrity guest and how he did, and I'm telling you, he was excellent and up for anything, and which I really admire because I'm not going to mention names, but there have been guys that come there that were very guarded about what they would do or what they wouldn't do and how they'd be presented or perceived or not. Mm-hmm. You know, and I always thought, you guys got to be shitting me. You're coming on a live pro wrestling show and you're worried about how you're going to be perceived? Really? Easy, Shakespeare. Take it easy here.